Right guys, what I've done is I've mixed up some brown and black. Oops, see if I can find a palette knife. Just down here. Right. As you can see, I've mixed up some Van Dyke brown, midnight black, just there. And I've mixed a tiny bit of white with that same colour and mixed it marbled. See how that's marbled? Now we're going to start off by sculpting the cabin. You see how we've marked it and stuff so that we know where the corners are. I know that the light's coming down from right to left, so that means this side is highlighted more than this side. This side will be slightly in shadow. So I'm just going to put some dark in there of the Van Dyke brown and black, just in there. Got to do this cabin justice. I've got to pull some of that brown down into there. That's something like what I'm after for now. And then have another look. Do a tiny bit more brown just down there. You're just blocking it in with the palette knife. You're holding it pretty flat as you do this. And then I'll just clean the knife off. I want to cut across and get a ridge of that paint just on the knife. And then just here where these, it's going to be hard for me to show you this because I normally do this like so. I'll try to do it like this, see if I can. Just want to touch some little boards in. Nah, I'm not going to be able to do it that way. I'm going to have to do it this way. Basically you touch the boards in pretty rough at first, and then you can play with the colour that's on there once you've done that. Put some little bits of brown in for the boards on the side. Now you might be able to do it this way. See that? Some little boards just in for the sides. Been having a bit of trouble using my right arm just too late, even with my signing, so this is a very tough one that I'm doing here, actually doing it this way. Normally, like I say, I would be like that a bit more. Just do the planks of wood there. Just make that look a bit better. That's it. That's good. Now I actually went a bit too far, so what I'll do is I'll darken that edge off a bit. But I just want to look for some of these areas that's still missing board. I'm going to touch into them areas. Remember, this is the brighter side. There. So because it's supposed to be brighter on here, a bit more paint. That's okay for now. And then I'm going to actually get that colour, put a bit more brown with it. Even maybe a smidgen of blue. Just so it looks like it's got that shadowy colour in with it. That's too much blue in there. I'll just use a little bit of that blue. And then I'll put the rest up there. So that's the sort of colour that you're after. It's got the brown and the blue in there, you see. And that's for the shadowed area, which is just in here. Now, I know we've got a log cabin in there, a door in the front of this log cabin. So for now I'm just going to put some little boards in there with that colour. You can always put the dark back in again in between the boards, so don't worry about that. Just staying underneath that eave. See that eave just there? Staying just underneath that. I know that Angel's dad would build a brilliant one of these. He's a brilliant builder. He'd do a cracking log cabin. Yeah. That'll do for now. I'll probably put a bit more brown with that as I go on with this, but I'm not too worried. for the moment, that's great. Now, I know that I've got a door. Remember the Dutch door? Just check the time. 5 minutes. Right, you remember the Dutch door which you did? Just on the side. Just about there. Using straight brown. There. You more or less pull the paint off the canvas with the knife. To the door. And then when you get the shape that you require, get the brown. And then you put the dark brown over the top of that. There. It's an old rustic cabin, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Just want it to look respectable. That's somewhere near. What you can do as well, you can just get some brown and white together. See that on the knife? And you just run through the white. And hopefully that will be bright enough to highlight the door. Just by running it around the edge of the door, like so, gives you a little highlight on it. Got to have a steady old hand for this though. There. I hope you can see this on camera. You can really build these cabins up beautiful. If you can keep a steady hand, that is. There we go. Something like, don't worry about if it's not exactly how you want it, because once it's dried you can always touch it up. Remember that. You can always touch it up once it's dried. I'm going to get the shadow colour. And I'm just going to put an indication of some logs on, some boards on this door. You can actually put the paint on, clean your knife off, and then go back to it and just touch that colour. So it's only an indication of the boards that we're wanting. There, that's perfect. And then, I know that these are Dutch doors, so therefore there's a little bit of wood just in the sides, just there. Splits in half does the door, doesn't it, with the Dutch door. There we go. Now remember the little things that, I'll see if I've got enough time. Yes, just hopefully just enough time. He made some little hinges for the door, do you remember? So the hinges that the guy made for the door, just going to mix the brown there, using a small part of the knife, and then I'm going to paint those hinges in. Just an indication of them. They go right across the door. There. There we go, just a couple of little hinges on the door it had. Such good fun doing this, I really do enjoy these cabins and stuff like that. Right, put a little door in just in here. About there. Something like so. It's only an indication is this, I'm not wanting it to be really in your face, you know what I mean, because it's like in the shadow, isn't it? You know that. So we'll go through that light blue, got white and blue there, go through that colour and just highlight the door. It's a shadow colour that you're using though now, so it's not quite as bright, and you can just run that up and down there just to highlight that door edge. Same on this one. Just run it up and down. Get in there. You've got to be patient with this. You don't always get it the first time. It's worth persisting, because the effect that you achieve is very satisfying. Yeah, that's getting there now. Now I know he had a window. Oh, 10 minutes.